My name is Andrew Hunt, and 1 year ago, I nearly died. And it wasn't because I had a car accident or got attacked in the street. It was nothing like that. It was because I had low testosterone. Yes, you heard that right. Low testosterone. And during the next 3 minutes, you'll hear a very unusual story of how a 55-year-old man, overweight with zero sex drive and borderline erectile dysfunction, miraculously cheated death to transform himself into a healthy, strong, alpha male buck with a flat stomach, firm muscles, and a roaring libido in just several weeks, based on research from a leading scientist at Stanford University. And while this story is very embarrassing to me, you'll literally be blown away, maybe furious, when you discover the shocking truth about why your testosterone is being stolen from under your nose, why it's putting you at risk of life-threatening diseases, why your sex drive is disappearing, and why your sperm count has dried up to a trickle. Listen, if this sounds a little crazy to you, I'd understand, but all I ask is that you stick with me for the next 5 minutes so you can see the science behind this method. Because in doing so, you're going to hear about some scandalous leaked secrets previously kept under lock and key by shady individuals. Secrets that are putting millions of lives at risk, such as how powerful conglomerates have secretly conspired to hide and cover up the deadly chemicals inside 93% of American men's bodies that is destroying testosterone and slowly turning us into women. How continued exposure to this silent time bomb toxin can result in obesity, diabetes, erectile dysfunction, and even worse, illness such as heart disease and cancer. How so-called low testosterone treatments such as hormone therapy and gels are directly linked to heart attacks, blood clots, strokes, and premature death. And how 90% of testosterone supplements are completely fake and useless. And in just a couple of minutes, you'll see not only how to flush out the dangerous testosterone-destroying chemicals swimming around your body right now, you'll also discover the powerful body hack I use to triple my testosterone levels and sex drive, quadruple my sperm count, and increase my erection strength in just a few days without using hormone replacement therapy, without using testosterone gels, heck, without even using supplements. This previously unknown body hack based on Stanford University research will enable you to enjoy pulsating testosterone levels and a powerful libido, hugely increase your confidence and self-worth, melt away belly fat, and build muscle instead, just like it did for 84,775 men so far. Men such as Scott, who said, "I was on hormone replacement for over 4 months, and I kept waiting for all the wonderful things to happen that the commercials tell you that everyone experiences. For me, they never did, but instead, my blood pressure and heart rate were both through the roof the entire time, and I really thought I was going to drop dead of a heart attack. Not to mention that my ED got worse, and when they added another drug for that, I'd had enough. I kept praying for another way and found your website, which I was skeptical about, but I figured, what the hell? Thank God I gave it a shot, because this last year has been phenomenal. My wife and I are having an awesome time in bed now." Scott. Or Andrew, who said, "My testosterone went from 320 to 990. Thanks. I've been doing almost everything you've shared on your site in your free presentation. It absolutely worked. I'm in great shape. I feel phenomenal. I have tremendous confidence, and my passion for living is back in a big way. I owe this to you. Thanks so much." Andrew O. Look, just before you see how this method works, I do have to warn you about what you're about to hear. The sneaky low testosterone treatment industry has been making billions of dollars a year by touting their expensive, dangerous, and ineffective products to good, honest men everywhere, using deception, manipulation, and corruption that would make the mafia proud. And what I'm about to reveal will put their business in jeopardy, because the more people that see this video, the more chance that public opinion will pressure the government to do something about their dangerous drugs. And once that happens, the river of money these crooks have been sitting on at your expense will dry up to a trickle. So make sure you watch this video carefully, take notes, and do whatever it says, because I have no idea how long it will stay up. And because when you do, you'll rapidly see your alpha male confidence surge over the next days, along with the sharp spurts of natural testosterone in your body. No matter if you're 24 or 64 years old, no matter how low your sex drive is, how overweight you are, or how weak you feel, you'll swiftly ramp up your natural testosterone production, burn off your belly, and power up your sex drive. Listen, really quickly, I know you want to hear who I am and how I came to discover this. Like I said, my name's Andrew Hunt. I'm 55 years old, and I'm from a town called Athens near Atlanta, Georgia. And even if these days I can strut around with an alpha male swagger and firm body that pleases women and makes men envious, just 18 months ago, that was far from being the case. Back then, my gut was nothing but hanging over my belt. My testosterone and libido were in the gutter. I was diagnosed pre-diabetic and had a blood clot in my arm, a condition that ruined my health and ultimately nearly killed me. A couple of years before that was when this low testosterone thing started. I started to feel tired and down, and I couldn't always perform in the bedroom, if you get me. And I noticed I'd got a soft, round belly that wouldn't go away no matter what I did, along with love handles and a fat on my chest. When my energy levels dropped even lower, my doctor told me to use this testosterone gel that you see on TV. Now, I can't say the name of this gel because the makers have threatened to sue me if I do, but you probably know it. So I'd rub gel on my chest every morning before work, and while it did seem to boost my energy and sex drive for a while, I noticed that it worked less and less as the months went by, and a weird side effect was that I couldn't pee properly when I used it. Another effect that it had was that I had headaches and these aggressive mood swings. One minute I was fine, and the next I was irritable and ready to snap at my wife for the slightest thing. As I read more and more about the weird side effects of testosterone gels, I found out that they can cause prostate cancer, liver problems, and destroy your sperm. This is even stated on their website. You can check it out. And when you stop using the gel, your testosterone can actually go down lower than it was before you started. Not only did these effects make me very worried, but I was paying almost $500 a month for the treatment. That was nearly $6,000 a year out of my pocket, leaving me dangerously close to losing my home. So I started to look for alternatives. Stuff like supplements and advice online, but unfortunately the supplements I found promised the world and delivered sweet nothing. I mean, sure, they worked for a few days, maybe a couple of weeks, but after 4 months of taking them every single day and hundreds more dollars out of my bank account, I was back to square one, tired and confused. And you may have heard that exercising helps your testosterone, so I tried that too. Well, apart from being embarrassed about my gut and intimidated by the vain, stupid gym rats around, I found it impossible to lose any more than a few pounds and even harder to build muscle, or even finish my workouts without feeling exhausted. I thought about hiring a personal trainer at $500 a month on top of my yearly membership, and with what I'd already blown on dangerous gels and useless supplements, enough is enough, I said to myself. And after 2 years of trying different techniques, I started to get really frustrated that all the so-called solutions out there would leave you worse off than before, empty your bank account, or even worse, kill you. And all the while, my gut was getting bigger. My blood sugar was all over the meter. My libido was non-existent. I was irritable and constantly tired. My wife had had enough of me, was even talking about taking a break from each other. In fact, she later told me that the only reason she didn't move out was because she was worried I was becoming very sick. And listen, I believe I would have ended up on my deathbed if it hadn't been for this weird and very embarrassing thing that happened that you need to hear about. You see, around that time I'd started to get dry and itchy skin and rashes around my body, possibly also as a result of the ridiculous treatments I'd been taking. And the part where it itched the most was, you guessed it, my testicles. My wife told me to see the doctor and get him to prescribe me some cream for the itching, so that's what I did. But when the doc had a look at my itchy rash, I saw the reaction on his face. He was worried, shocked even. He told me he wanted to do a quick check down there instead to see if all was okay. But instead of a quick testicle check like docs normally do, he started shifting my sack around, feeling and prodding everywhere. It started to get pretty uncomfortable. After a minute of this, I couldn't handle it anymore. What the hell did he think he was doing? "Hey, Doc, is something up?" I asked, pretty tense. "Yes, something is up," he replied. "You've got serious, severe testicular atrophy, and your testes have shrunk to the size of raisins. I don't even need to test your fertility. I can tell you're producing close to zero sperm, and you're in grave danger. Your testicles are actually close to disappearing." "Why, Doc?" I whispered, almost shaking. Look, your testosterone levels are extremely low, he said, as well as your testicles, weight, and fertility problems. You risk a whole bunch of serious health issues further down the line, such as permanent infertility, erectile dysfunction, depression, heart disease, premature death. He went on to mention a whole bunch of other nasty-sounding sicknesses that I'd never heard of, but what scared the hell out of me was this. He told me about a study that showed that men over 40 with low testosterone had an 88% increased chance of dying. I mean actually dying because of low T. And as a husband, father, and proud new grandfather, the thought of never seeing my wonderful cute grandkids' faces again really got me panicked, and I mean really scared the living daylights out of me. What the hell can I do about it, Doc? I asked him, my heart pounding with panic. He then told me I needed to pay for expensive monthly injections which would load me up with something he called synthetic testosterone. These might restore some of my male hormones, he said, but nothing was guaranteed.